Thank you for joining me for lesson 40 of the daily Sefer HaMitzvos study. And we're finishing up right now talking about um, the negative mitzvah number 320, which was that. Let me pull it up here. Sorry. You shall not do any work. Exodus 20:10. And so what that means is there's, according to Judaism, there's 39 categories of work or malacha, creative um, uh, labors that can be done that shouldn't be done on Shabbat. And I w- the thing that I wanted to talk about today is how we need to be, if we're wanting to properly have a delightful Shabbos, we need to do our preparation beforehand. So there's actually a lot of work throughout the week to prepare ourselves for Shabbat, and sometimes we even have a Shabbat followed by. Oops, excuse me. Sometimes we also have Shabbat followed by a Yom Tovs, like this week here. We've got a Shabbat and two Yom Tovs immediately following. So we've got a lot of work to do actually to prepare for that. You could see in the background we're preparing our kitchen for Passover. So anyway, so even though we're resting during Shabbat, we do have a lot of work to prepare for Shabbat ahead of time. We're going and we're selecting foods. We're cooking our foods ahead of time. We're getting our house all set up with our lights. We're lighting candles beforehand, etc. So there's a lot of work involved in the preparation for Shabbat in order to be able to rest. And so when we're talking about entering the rest of the kingdom, we do look forward to the kingdom of Messiah. May he come soon and in our days. However, until that point, we have a charge, a job to do, to do a lot of work in preparation for that. One thing that I remember reading that the Lubavitcher Rebbe once said was that the Messianic era is actually a time of famine. And what does that mean? How is the Messianic era a time of famine? Imagine you weren't able to, or you didn't do any preparation for Shabbat. You had nothing to eat. You had no food. You had nothing, no food to really enjoy the day. You didn't do any of your preparation ahead of time. You didn't turn on your lights, etc. Then Shabbat is actually going to be a very desolate kind of period, especially if you didn't have any food in preparation for it. It would be 24 hours of famine. Whereas the Messianic era is the same kind of way. So we're not talking about preparing food, etc., so to speak, but we are preparing good deeds for that time, because we're going to be rejoicing in the results of those deeds in the Messianic era. Our garments, so to speak, the apostles say, and even all of Judaism says the same, that we will have garments that are that are made actually from our good deeds. And they don't necessarily speak metaphorically about it. What they're saying, the Maggid of Mezrich says, well, why do we need garments in the Messianic era? And he says that the garments that we wear, which are our deeds, are going to prepare us and enable us to be able to experience more a revelation of God in those days. So imagine right now that we're preparing a vessel to contain the light, the revelation of Hashem during the Messianic era and following in the world to come. We're preparing a vessel to contain that light, that revelation of God. It's there's a verse that says, "The knowledge of God will cover the earth like the waters cover the sea." And so, what does that mean? The Alter Rebbe says, just like the sea has some deep places and some shallow places, there will be differences in the revelation of God. Those who prepared themselves, who did mitzvahs, who taught others to do mitzvahs, who studied Torah, will have a larger vessel for a greater revelation of God to fill them. Whereas those who neglected Torah, who did not do mitzvahs, or who taught others not to do mitzvahs, God forbid, or simply neglected to teach others regarding Torah, that those people will have a very small vessel, God forbid, and they will be able to receive less of the revelation of God. And what they do have beyond that, maybe will just be kind of secondhand, someone telling them about their experience. Um, so it's so important that we're building those vessels. We want to be great in the kingdom. Well, being great in the kingdom means submitting to Hashem, submitting to His will, learning His word, performing His command, and also um, teaching others to do likewise. That leads to being great in the kingdom, receiving receiving whiter garments, being able to experience more of the revelation of God, having a larger vessel in order to receive that flow of blessing and life from Hashem in the Messianic era and in the world to come. So let's always try to stay on that path that leads us toward being great in the kingdom. We don't want to be least in the kingdom, God forbid. All right. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day in every way.